Hi everyone and welcome to a short demo on the Sprint Guide. We are in the alpha version, stepping into the beta version, working with some big organizations, and this tool actually provides you a way to improve your teams, the delivery of your teams, so they can do more faster and better by having higher velocity, shorter cycle time, and fewer bugs. Now, the trick is how to do that. So, this tool connects to your Jira, to organizational Jira, and fetches numbers, not content, and analyze them based on dozens of best practices in the Agile domain. And show you that, visualize that in health boxes in green, yellow, and red, and you just click the red and yellow ones, take an action upon the insights and align with the best practices. And if you want to integrate this tool into your organization, there is a detailed security document because this tool was built with security in mind. Um, and again, with the higher security standards. So let's just jump in and see what this tool does. So basically, it goes into your active sprint and analyze them. So in this case, we can see we analyze the 1,200 items across 4 active sprints. We can see the sprints that are in green are active ones, and the red ones are actually obsolete ones that someone forgot to close. And then you can do filters based on teams, projects, and assignees. So in this example, I will choose one of the teams and I will generate a summary. The tool goes to Jira, fetches the items that are relevant to this specific team, and analyze them and see there's 10 assignees in this team, total of 11 days in the sprint, 0 days remaining, means this is the last day in the sprint. And then I provide you sprint health boxes so your team will be aligned with the best practices in the market. So let's go with them briefly one by one so we can see the sprint pace is actually release burn down, how you are delivering towards your commitment. Work in progress, how many work in progress items do you have in parallel? Epic focus, how many epics do you have in parallel for the team? And you don't want to have too many because it's a lot of context switching and a lot of big rocks to tackle in parallel. The next one is large items. How many items on average the team has? How many items the team has that are on average taking more than half of the sprint? Those are the risky ones. Unestimated items that you pulled into the sprint and you still didn't estimate them. The mixture between stories and tasks, where the hidden assumption is that story is a product related requirement and task is technical data engineering related requirement. SAP task ratio, how many SAP tasks you have in Jira compared to your stories and tasks. If you have too many, it's meaning you're working for the tool instead of the tool working for you. Unparented items that are not linked to epics, and this makes it hard to understand your roadmap progress and the overall effort on the big rocks. Carryover items, how many items you have carried over and dragged more than 2 sprints. The velocity progress, this is a nice metric. Your progress towards the average velocity of the team and average predictability versus commitment, how much of the overall commitment you have delivered on average. So those boxes really provide you a nice view of how the team is aligned with the best practices and a nice score, which is a bit of a gamification that you can use. And the next section is about the velocity progress and trends, where you can see the average velocity, the progress towards the average velocity, and the average story points per person. And you can see a nice progress bar that shows you the average velocity, the expected velocity at this point in order to meet the average velocity, and the current velocity. And down here you have actually the velocity chart, very similar to Jira, but instead of 2 histograms per sprint, you have a single histogram. And then you can see your overall commitment, the completed, predictability, how much of the how much you completed from the committed, the duration of the sprint, the team size, and then 2 nice metrics of story points per day and story points per person. And the extra bonus here is the statistics in the active sprint, in the current sprint. Again, committed, completed, progress, duration, and team size. And down here you have assignee load. So you have a drill down of per person in the sprint. So you can see actually the person name, the total, items, the story, total story points that that person took, how many in to do, in progress and done, the progress of the based on the number of issues and the progress based on the story points. And if someone taking too many items in progress, it highlights that. Now, one thing that is very important to understand is every time I click on some of the boxes or down here on some of the people, it just open up a new tab inside your Jira with the right JQL. So no content is being fetched into this application, only numbers. And if you want to drill down, it just opens up your Jira instance. So if I'll summarize that with the assignee load, the velocity, the sprint health. Now, if I would choose a few teams to analyze, this is where a nice thing happens. Suppose I'm a group leader, I have three teams. I want to get analysis of those three teams. Though, and if a new section down here that is called Team Health Summary, that really shows you the best practices alignment per team. So when I'm drilling down per team, I can see the scores and I can have a nice view, a heat map view of all of my teams. Thank you very much.